Good morning all. I'm Tor Enger. I am the CEO of TECO 2030 and TECO Group Executive Chairman and Founder. I am very happy, proud and humble to welcome you to this very first TECO 2030 Capital Markets Update. TECO as a group have for almost 30 years worked closely with shipyards and ship owners all over the world to find the right technical solution for their vessels. To move on in according to the Paris Agreement, TECO 2030 is aiming to establish Norway's leading gigafactory production of fuel cells, optimized to be the heart of hydrogen-powered ships and other heavy-duty installation. I have no doubt that together with AVL, our strategic partner and best-in-class expertise and know-how, TECO 2030 will be one of the preferred partners for the maritime industry's shift to zero-emission propulsion. I am very excited about what we are presenting today, and by saying that, please welcome Pia Meling, today's facilitator, board member in TECO 2030, and a born believer in a cleaner world. Pia, please.
Thank you, Tore. It's inspiring to work with such a visionary industry leader as yourself and with a highly skilled team in TECO 2030. We are now in TECO 2030's office outside Oslo, and I have two representatives of this competent team here with me today. Let me introduce Tor Erik Hoftun, who is the Business Development Officer in TECO 2030, and Birgit Ljoden, who is a board member. Birgit was the first Norwegian citizen to have a hydrogen car, and she has a heart that's beating for sustainable business. Tor Erik has a nautical degree and has a seagoing background before he moved on to roles in Scanship, OSM Ship Management, and later TECO. In his current role in TECO 2030, he combines a deep technical understanding with a commercial and customer-centric mindset. But before we move into the discussion, let's take a look at a short video that will set the scene. So, Tor Erik, tell me, why has TECO 2030 partnered with AVL?
There's many reasons why we partnered with a company like AVL. I think one of the most important things for us is, of course, their profound dedication to research and development, to always stay ahead of the curve and always be ahead on the technology. Second of all, we have a very good collaboration with them. We already executed a couple of projects in the past, and now we're looking forward to embark on a new one. So we know that the cooperation works very well. And the third thing is that we think the collaboration between TECO as a marine domain knowledge holder and AVL as a technical knowledge holder makes a perfect combination to have a good team to bring new and innovative solutions to the market.
Yeah. And one of these innovative solutions are the Pem Fuel Cells. Could you tell us a bit about how these are optimized for maritime use?
Sure. When you create a product, it's always important to look at sort of what is the core objective and also the goal of that product. So together with AVL, we are looking at the marine segment as our targeted objective and to make a solution fit for that application. We do this all the way from sort of the virtual design all the way up to the test bench runs and the verification of the product.
That sounds good. But Birgit, how can we ensure that we get a commercially viable value chain for hydrogen in the maritime industry?
We see the need for a strong innovation center, which will provide a vital part of the European strategy for acceleration and large-scale industrialization. However, such a center is of course depending on the broad support from governmental funding initiatives.
Tor Erik, TECO 2030 aims to build a mega factory in Norway pending access to innovation funding. How can such a factory and production be scaled according to the demand in the market for fuel cells?
That's a good question. So basically what we do together with AVL, we are aiming to create a production line that is both scalable and also modular in order to sort of respond to the market according to its maturity and as the need for fuel cell systems will grow. We see already a lot of interest now, and we see also future projects are increasing. So we will sort of align the factory according to the requirements in the market. It's also important to mention that this factory will be created in such a way that we will have the focus on high volume production.
And Birgit, with your heart beating for sustainability, how do you see the environmental footprint of such a production facility?
Well, I think first of all, it's important that green companies deliver not only on the core business, but also how we conduct the business and how we build these projects. And optimizing resources better, it is good both for our planets and for our wallets. And as we in TECO 2030 use only half the platinum compared to most current fuel cells, that is one obvious win-win. Reducing the use of rare minerals and reducing costs. When we look at that in a factory perspective, we embrace the same focus and perspectives on circular models. And that means that the planning and construction of the factory shall be really raising the bar for circular buildings and industrial sites in Norway. And there are elements both from looking at circular use of energy, the construction materials, water, and also how we look at waste and access resource management.
And what potential do you see for hydrogen in Europe and globally?
Well, I think by now we are finally at the stage where governments, both nationally and regionally, are embracing hydrogen as a key driver for fueling the world moving forward while delivering on the Paris Agreement. And secondly, we see also that the major energy players, like big oil companies, are also now really looking at hydrogen as the next generation energy. And within the maritime sector, I think we have moved from kind of a smaller part of our community into now a much more broader part of the various industry segments, looking at this as really a key part of the solution for enabling us to drive the transportation of the future without emissions.
Professor List is an engineer, businessman, and philanthropist. He is the CEO, president, and owner of AVL. Please welcome Professor Helmut List, who is with us from Graz, Austria.
Dear Mr. Tore Enger, members of the TECO 2030 management team, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and thank you for providing me with the opportunity to speak at today's TECO 2030 Capital Markets Update. The teams from TECO 2030 and AVL have already worked together on another project to develop the future funnel, an advanced exhaust after-treatment system for the marine industry, and have already achieved significant progress. We at AVL are driven by our pioneering spirit. Our success is built on constantly pushing the limits of technology by creating innovative solutions with new fuels to achieve a more sustainable mobility. To achieve this, AVL has set a strong focus on fuel cell research and technology for more than 15 years. One of the results is our own high-performance Pem Fuel Cell solution. Thanks to its attractive energy density, hydrogen will certainly become one of the most important energy carriers, especially for all mobile applications with a very high energy demand. We are pleased to help TECO 2030 to create a modular fuel cell power generation system for marine applications. Obviously, pioneering new approaches always entails new challenges like industrialization, patents, durability, and more. We at AVL are ready to support TECO 2030 to cope with these challenges and to bring an excellent and unique solution for decarbonized marine power generation to the market. Dear ladies and gentlemen, we at AVL wish Mr. Enger and his team much success in realizing a much greener future for the marine industry in the years ahead. Thank you.
The partnership with the Dutch Tekla Bodewes shipyards enable TECO 2030 to commercialize the marine fuel cell on new builds for inland waterways. I'm pleased to introduce Ms. Tekla Bodewes, CEO and owner of Tekla Bodewes Shipyards.
Hello, my name is Tekla Bodewes from the Tekla Bodewes Shipyards Group. I'm the 7th generation of our family-owned group of shipyards founded in the 19th century. We are based with 4 shipyards in Harlingen, Meppel, Kampen and Strobos, all in the northern part of the Netherlands. We focus on repair, maintenance and new building of commercial functional vessels such as dredgers, multipurpose vessels, research vessels and shallow water specials. We believe in efficient and sustainable future for the shipping industry and focus on future-proofed vessel design concepts. Therefore, we joined forces for electric propulsion with DNA Electric 15 years ago. With their proven power management technology and different energy sources, we designed, constructed and delivered more than 20 ships navigating all over the world. For years now, we are implementing different energy sources such as diesel, LNG and battery systems. And already in 2009, we delivered the first fuel cell Amsterdam Channel passenger boat. But we were too much ahead of our time. Infrastructure was not ready, and clients were not ready, and the system was not reliable at that time. Now, with the UN climate goals, the world is ready for sustainable ships, and there is an increasing demand from clients for sustainable zero-emission solutions. Our vision is still that hydrogen will become the norm for ships. Therefore, we are extremely happy to announce our collaboration with TECO from Norway for delivery of world-class fuel cell solutions to develop zero-emission hydrogen-based propulsion. TECO has built a system designed from scratch for heavy-duty marine operations, which we are eager to install and test in our ships. The development has been done with a trusted and famous development partner, AVL from Austria, world's largest independent company for the development, simulation and testing of powertrain systems. Joint forces between industry players with a proven past and a future focus for a reliable and functional vision on zero-emission vessels.
Mr. Clemens Schwartz works as a project manager in the Innovation and New Business Department at Verbund. Mr. Schwartz is in charge of Verbund's contribution towards the green hydrogen at Blue Danube project. Please welcome Mr. Schwartz.
Hello, my name is Clemens Schwarz and I'm heading the Green Hydrogen at Blue Danube IPCEI project at Verbund. Verbund is Austria's leading energy company and electricity producer. With over 95% of our overall generation stemming from renewable energy sources, we produce approximately 40% of overall Austrian electricity consumption. The backbone of our production is hydropower, but we are also gradually building our assets and growing our assets in wind and solar, not only in Austria, but across Europe. We are convinced that green hydrogen will play and will have to play a significant role in the future of the overall energy mix in Europe towards climate neutrality. Green hydrogen is not a magic cure, but a missing link which can help to decarbonize sectors which cannot be reached via green electricity, like steel industry, chemical industry, refineries, but also heavy-duty transport and maritime applications and riverborne applications. Verbund has been engaged in green hydrogen from an early stage, and we are already operating the largest PEM electrolyzer in Europe, in Linz, Austria, together with voestalpine. In the Green Hydrogen at Blue Danube project, we really want to take green hydrogen production, transport, and application to an industrial scale level and intend to establish a green hydrogen value and supply chain in the Danube corridor. For doing so, we target the development of up to 2 GW of new renewable capacity in Southeast Europe, where resources are abundant but have only sparingly been used due to limited grid capacities in the region. We want to use this potential, produce electricity off-grid, and use it for the production of large volumes of green hydrogen and transport via liquid organic hydrogen carriers to off-takers and industrial clusters in Central Europe. And we will primarily do that via ships and barges along the Danube River. We are committed to building a sustainable and low-carbon supply chain for green hydrogen, and this also encompasses low-carbon transport. And this is where TECO and AVL come into play. Verbund has a long-standing relationship with AVL, and we regard them very highly. TECO 2030 is an established marine player with roughly 30 years of experience in the fields of service, repairs, installations, and commissioning for many of the major clients in the industry. And TECO 2030 can provide turnkey solutions for our shipping partners in the Green Hydrogen at Blue Danube project. With AVL's innovative and technical expertise and TECO 2030's marine experience, we are confident that we have found the ideal partners to decarbonize riverborne transport in our project. And we are glad, quite literally, to have you both on board.
Good. I have one final question to you both, and that's regarding what customers that TECO 20 will have for their fuel cells. What segments do we see that will be the first movers in the maritime industry?
For TECO 2030, I think the letter of intent that we have with Chemgas Shipping in Holland shows a good platform and what will keep us quite busy for some time. It's a quite big project for river-going tugs for transporting goods along the rivers in the intercontinental Europe. The riverboat owners there are looking for future-proof solutions that would enable them to continue to operate on the rivers and be safe from future potential emission limits that could be enforced within the city limits. We also see a lot of activities on the ferry market, both in Europe, but also in Norway in general, as we have some new regulations regarding low emission ferries from 2024. So in essence, we foresee short sea and river boats to come first, and then we think a broader development into the ocean-going segment at a later stage. But we see potential in all segments and all sort of parts of each segment. So it's a quite interesting journey to be part of.
Would you like to elaborate a bit on that?
Definitely, because one thing is, of course, the specific segments, but when we are looking at this from a more geographical and regional perspective, of course, now with the European Union's commitment to rebuilding the European economy and the green shift that we're in, we see that the European market will clearly be a pioneering market. But then after the recent US election, this is also very interesting to look at the American market under the President Biden administration, as the US already have a hydrogen roadmap in place. So I believe that now European market, American market will be really interesting now for quite rapid expansion and rolling out the hydrogen energy world.
Well, thanks. That was a quick introduction from our two experts from TECO 2030 team. Now we leave the floor open to you in the audience for questions and comments.
Hello everybody, and welcome to the Q&A session. Before we actually start the Q&A session, which again will be hosted by Pia, I would just like to say to Tekla, thank you so much for participating in our event, and we are really looking forward to work with you for many, many years to come. Mr. Schwarz and Verbund, it's a great honor for us to be a part of the green hydrogen at the Blue Danube, and thank you very much for participating. Last but not least, Professor List, it has been an honor listening to you. It is an honor for us working with AVL, and we are looking forward to many generations to come. By saying that, thank you to all of you, and Pia.
Thank you. We've got quite a few questions about competitors for TECO 2030. So who are the competitors today, Erik?
There are some initiatives out there now. I think it's 3 initiatives I want to take to the front here, and that is of course the initiative with Toyota and Corvus. We also have PowerCell and also Ballard. 3 very good and strong initiatives that I think we will be even side by side with in the industry, and also see a lot in the sort of scenery where we are gonna operate.
And there's another question about how TECO 2030 solution is differ from Havyard's solution specifically.
Yes, so the initiative with Havyard is very good because it enables the ship owner to actually go ahead and install a solution. That being said, they are a system sort of supplier, and they rely on using fuel cell systems from other sub-suppliers. So we hope that the initiative that Havyard has started, there will be coming many more of those, and we could be a potential supplier to such system deliverers or suppliers.
Yeah. Birgit, would you like to add something around this competitive landscape?
Definitely, because as we are now shifting from dirty fuels and over to renewable energy, and with hydrogen as a key driver, we will not be in a world where we succeed as only one actor in the market. So we need a number of really strong pioneering actors in this field, where TECO 2030 is among them. And we also need to make sure that we build up a world-class leading competence ecosystem around green hydrogen. And I definitely see so many opportunities from building up this environment here in Norway.
Yeah. There was a follow-up question also around IP rights for TECO 2030. Could you comment on that, Tor Erik?
Sure. So basically what we do, we join forces with AVL. That gives us access to a large patent base already established for Pem Fuel Cell systems. And whatever solutions we are developing in our race will become jointly owned by AVL and us. So we have a good base protecting our sort of starting design, and then the final design will be protected by patents as we go along. So we feel very confident in that respect. That being said, the patents that we own with AVL are 100% commercially owned by TECO.
Good. And then now, Tore, back to this gigafactory that might be built here in Norway. When do you expect this to be finished and ready for serial production?
If everything go according to our hopes and wishes, and of course is also subject to funding, we are aiming for starting sort of prototype manual production in the second half of 2022, moving over to more automated system in 2023. And from 2024, we are what you call automated in respect to the same automation as the car industry is using today. because there will be people involved. We are aiming for about 500 employees, and we think this is a great thing that we could already be in big time, big scale production in 2024. We are aiming for 60 megawatt delivery in 23 and 400 megawatt delivery already in 2024.
It's amazing that we can build this kind of industry in Norway. Tor Erik, another follow-up question that I will ask to you about the product. You think that the hydrogen system can become an off-the-shelf solution that also the yards can offer on their own?
Absolutely. I think, like we talked about initially with Havyard, these kinds of initiatives will pop out, and our goal and sort of plan is that the 400 kilowatt module that we are producing will be sort of an off-the-shelf product that these vendors can utilize for their system installation. And also this will, of course, enhance and also benefit us greatly in sort of a large-scale production scheme. So it goes both ways.
Sounds good. Let's see if there's any more questions from the live chat here. Yeah, was a question here about solid-state batteries, whether we are looking at them as well. But for now, I guess.
Yeah, I think when it comes to all the different solutions that are in the market, there are many solutions for many applications. So I think some applications will be great with batteries. Some application will be great with fuel cells. Some application might need to run in sort of a hybrid mode. So I don't think there's one solution to the shipping industry. There are more. Solid state could be another path.
Good. I had also a very interesting question from one of the viewers about the number 2030 or 2030 in our name. Is that the target for the share price?
Are we talking before or after the split? Very good question. And TECO 2030 is, of course, has nothing to do with the share price, but it's an interesting target.
Great. I think that's it. And we might round off here. Any closing comment from you, Tore?
We are thrilled about what we are doing, and we are aiming for being a part of changing the course to zero emission propulsion. I think that should be the last thing we can say to that today.
Go TECO 2030.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Bye.